But their story didn't end there.
How could there have been only one? And he's back in business.
Is the worst idea in history of bad ideas.
Part 2 is the final chapter in the violent history.
This time, it's personal.
Hey everyone, before this special episode of Revenge of the Sequel, the podcast just about sequels, I want to let you know of what we've been up to and why there's been such a long wait in between episodes. We've been working on a very special podcast called Countdown to Skywalker, a Star Wars podcast where we watch every single Star Wars movie, starting with Phantom Menace, going all the way to Rise of Skywalker, which I'm sure we'll talk about on this podcast as well. Well, anyways, that's what we've been doing. If you look for Countdown to Skywalker on all the podcast apps that you listen to, you'll be able to find it, rate and review it, please. It's the same people, John, Andrew, and me, talking about Star Wars. But thanks so much for sticking around and staying subscribed to Revenge of the Sequel. We're really excited to talk about this movie. It's kind of a sequel, kind of a follow-up and original because it's in the Breaking Bad universe. So grab some blue meth. Don't do it. Just grab it, throw it away, and enjoy this episode.
I get high and I get low. Oh, but that's the way these things go. I saw my face in the mirror. Lord, I know I've changed, though I look much the same. I found grace in the black water bathe my soul.
What are we doing? I pressed record.
This is Revenge,
meth.
I think, right?
Okay, yeah.
Blue crystal meth. That's what
Crystal
we're doing.
Blue Persuasion.
Welcome to Revenge of the Sequel, the podcast just about sequels. My name's Emmanuel.
Let's get straight to
I
it.
am Andrew.
Hey, I'm John. We haven't done this in a while, have we?
No, and
not this one.
I haven't done this in a long while.
That's true. Andrew's actually we had remember we promised a brand new season earlier this year when it started in May.
You promised it.
Fake news.
Oh no, you run the social media account, so technically you promised it.
I did not promise anything, so I did not lie to anyone.
We're all just politicians. We promise things.
I didn't lie.
You know, it's really funny. Even though May was only a couple of months ago, I can't remember if Andrew has been on a current episode of this season.
May is when?
It's gonna be May.
Yeah, because we do the Scorpion King, and then we did.
Fuck.
I should probably just look this up.
We
I don't
watched
know what we're just
Daddy's
talking
Home
about.
too. I remember that.
Daddy's Home 2 was,
That wasn't a part
I
of
think,
that.
our most recent episode.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while. We talk about sequels, but the reason why I've been on hiatus is we've doing other shit. Fuck.
Yeah,
Get
there's
off our
another
back
show.
now.
Well, there's another the other show.
It's a little thing called life.
If anyone's a fan of
Try
the,
playing it before you get played by it.
Instead of podcasting, we're playing the game Life, and I just got married. I have 3 kids on my little car
already. Dang.
on the game, not in
Oh,
real
okay.
life.
I was like, damn, you don't got a TV, huh?
But yeah, so
Pumping them out.
we've been recording a separate podcast. I feel like we've also recorded. When did Infinity Endgame come out?
Yeah, see,
Shit.
we've been kind of doing triple duty here, even though one of them kind of
Triple threats.
Yeah, one of them kind of took the obviously took the wheel, which is the Countdown to Skywalker show plug. The Countdown to Skywalker show is obviously taking up most of our time because if anyone has
We're on a timetable,
started
okay?
a podcast before,
Okay,
or
dudes,
something.
we're on a timetable.
Well, having one of the it's not unfortunate at all, but I guess in this case, one of the unfortunate things of doing a movie podcast is that we have to watch those movies and do.
Johnny
research and
hates
stuff like
watching
that.
movies. He
I
hates
know, it's
movies.
just like he doesn't even like movies.
And then
he reads books.
our schedule is
even read.
very, very hectic, all three of us. So we have to find time to watch them and then research, watch any documentaries, any supplements that come with them. And then
Supplements.
and then usually that's a couple of days before we actually record, which is another time that we have free. So that's why I think ROTS, but ROTS is still here since
Yeah.
this is living proof.
I know.
We're still paying a monthly. hosting, right?
Oh, that's totally true. So like it has to be here.
Might as well put something out. And this week we're talking about, well, this week or this month, I don't know when we're doing this again. But this episode we're talking about an interesting crossover of TV.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because now like we can use this as our excuse to talk about everything that came before it. So I love it because I mean it does fill the criteria.
We should have done Countdown to El Camino, the Breaking Bad podcast. Damn it, could have talked about every single episode
of B&B.
B&B. But Breaking Bad, this is kind of it's definitely a movie.
It was released in theaters.
It's in theaters.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It is in conjunction with the series Breaking Bad, which won, of course, like a shit ton of
Emmys and it's
Emmys.
It won an Oscar.
Not yet.
Well, actually, I mean, it led to like what to Bryan Cranston doing more. I think he got nominated for
His
Trumbo.
breakout star.
Right? He got nominated for Trumbo
He's
one
on
year.
Godzilla. Are we just listing his movies or what?
No. I was
Malcolm
thinking
in
like
the
the
Middle.
acclaim. I mean, because like you guys weren't lying. I mean, he did technically get acclaim. Like, and I think like I feel like Breaking Bad kind of propelled him into like this
he stole
spotlight.
the Emmy for Matthew McConaughey for True Detective. I think. Whoops. I mean, he's
shots fired.
won multiple Emmys, but I thought
You thought
True Detective was
McConaughey
pretty
was gonna
good.
take
Yeah.
it?
It was okay compared to Breaking
until-
Bad.
Oh yeah. But yeah. So and of course this. How long was Breaking Bad on
6 seasons?
the air for? 6 seasons.
Yeah, I think it was like a
6 seasons
straight
and a movie.
5. I think. Like I think the fifth season was split up into
It
2
is,
parts.
and a movie.
Yeah, so like it technically 6.
So-
I guess.
and it's a series.
Sorry, community.
Basically,
Look that up to
it's,
actually confirm.
it's we're just bringing up random numbers.
fake news.
It's basically the story of a high school chemistry teacher being diagnosed with cancer and turning to a life of crime with his ex-student Jesse Pinkman, and they revolutionize the meth game.
I like how you didn't say the name of the teacher though. Walter White.
Walter White. Oh shit.
it was 5 seasons. Excuse me.
And a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a really big part of TV since it came out. I mean, there was definitely everyone's talking about that blue meth. I am the one who
They call the sun. I am the one they call the.
and it
Who
had
knocks?
some fantastic characters along the way. I think some of them that are, that obviously didn't survive all the way through.
Right.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
This is a big spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen,
Oh, yeah, if you haven't seen
Breaking Bad,
yeah, you should probably turn
you
this
should
off.
probably not be watching El Camino.
I know because it's not about a car.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
Or a road.
Have
in
you guys
Spanish.
ever ridden in an El Camino?
No.
I actually have.
Yeah, me too. My old roommate had an El Camino.
Yeah, there was one
black.
guy we shot. There was a high school shoot.
I took a shot in the mouth.
There was a high
There's
school
guy you
shoot. I
shot?
think we were shooting a movie in high school, and one of the people you got playing for that, it was a certain day where we shot like out in a
roommate.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
It wasn't Ruben. It was like Ruben's friend or something.
Interesting.
But he had an El Camino, and I remember that was like significant. So I was like, oh, I've never seen one of these before.
You thought, oh,
It
they're
was
gonna
during
name
a
movie
Lucky
after
Day
these.
shoot or something like that.
It's a weird car because it's a pickup truck
In a
as
car.
well.
As a car, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what this podcast is. We're going to talk about this car. What kind of mileage do you think you can get on an El
Yeah,
Camino?
you thought it was going to be about the movie, but we're really going to break down the horsepower on it. Just kidding.
But what kind of mileage does this movie have? No, I'm just kidding. But the series wrapped like
2013.
yeah, it's a while ago. I remember we can talk about Breaking Bad, like our relationship to it. I guess I married it. No, but I
It's your mistress.
I didn't watch. I watched the last 2 seasons live, like on AMC as they came out
Right,
at a Breaking Bad party, which was kind of lame. But
like we all did
until I guess 2 years, I guess 2011 or something, I didn't know about it, and then I binged it all on
Netflix.
I think it was on Netflix.
Yeah, it's still there to this. I mean, I think it
this
has to
day,
stay there
yeah.
now since like El Camino. Yeah,
But that's one of the biggest phenomena of streaming. Is one of the reasons why I got into it was because it was on Netflix and you can binge it. And I feel like there's quite a few people
that did that too.
and that's why the resurgence and the ratings for the last season especially were like groundbreaking, broke records and stuff. But yeah, what did you guys think of Breaking Bad? Did you guys watch it when you were? Well, I assume Andrew, you were 10 years old or something when Breaking Bad came out.
I think so.
You're just a little
And
baby boy.
It's funny because at first I was really hesitant to watch it because I find that I I shy away from things that
I actually don't know the story, so I'm actually very interested.
I find that I shy away from things that have that are built up to me, and so people are like Breaking Bad's the best ever, and like so I'm like it's not going to meet that expectation.
Or
so
like the Joker.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But and so it's things like that where like an example like Step Brothers. I haven't seen Step Brothers, that movie with John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell, because people are like it's so funny.
Oh God, and it's
like,
so good.
Yeah, exactly. And so like when I watch it, I know it's not going to meet that expectation, so I don't want to be let down. And so Breaking Bad was that way, where I was shying away from it because I was like, it's not going to be that good, like as you guys say it is or whatever. And one day I was bedridden sick, and John and Andrea invaded the room and said, hey, he can't move. So they put on the first 2 seasons straight.
Oh my God. So you're forced to watch.
Correct.
Wow.
But to be honest, I did end up liking it a lot. Oh, and there's a certain hook when, it got me. It's when Walter goes into Tuco's house. Or his office, and he throws that little like crystal on the ground and blows it up.
He uses chemistry.
Yeah, he uses science as his weapon. And so basically, that was the thing for me, where like again the hook, and after that I could not stop watching it. It was almost as addicting as actual meth.
Oh boy, and you know that
and
struggle,
I would know.
bro.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the cool things about the series is it is very much a story told in a million parts, because and Vince Gilligan will talk about this, like his writers would paint themselves into corners knowing that someone would have to
write themselves out
of it, and what you get is kind of like building muscle, breaking down the muscle, and something really nice comes.
Who was the unlucky writer who had nose goes like, oh shit, I got to write our way out of this? God,
what are we doing now?
Yeah.
Well, and Vince Gilligan, of course, is also this really humble genius who isn't throwing around his weight like a crazy person.
He's super underrated.
Yeah, he talks very calmly. And he's having fun the whole time.
He's having fun. He's always like smiling.
Well, and also he's like twice the filmmaker that some of these other cats, that get their movies in theaters. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. He directed one of my favorite episodes of the X-Files, that Cops X-Files crossover.
That's true. He does come from that world of the X-Files.
Yeah, I think that was like one of his first writing gigs.
But John, what did you think of Breaking Bad when it was on?
So my Breaking Bad experience was more so like it was probably one of the, I want to say early, because like I guess I had like a binge like a love relationship with Weeds, which is also a show, like it's a Showtime show that's on Netflix.
Weeds is pretty okay too,
right? And
it's like this one with Weeds,
sort of, yeah. It's actually, it's very. There's some similarities there. Obviously
they can't wait for the cocaine series.
Isn't that Narcos or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess so. Boom.
I don't know. I've never seen it. Now everyone like who's watching these shows are probably like hating me right now. Breaking Bad, the TV show. I remember being in college. Like I went to in a university.
School. I was at university.
No,
he was in college for 13 years.
I was at a university where like this show kind of hooked me. I kind of like started binging like very slowly, and watching episode, and then again, it's I guess it's very similar to your experience, Emmanuel, which is like kind of like you discover it on Netflix, and then you can't put it down. I remember there was nights where I had to go to school the next morning, and I just couldn't pry myself away from the remote. Like I had to keep watching one more episode and one more episode and one more episode.
Yeah.
Well, and even like certain episodes that when I finally caught up and I was watching it live, because I did that for Game of Thrones also, where like it can't meet expectation, or and things like that. But then I end up catching up and watching the final season live just to see, because again, like it's not your general, it's not your real opinion, because you have factor in what everybody else has said about it and what you've seen that's been spoiled and shit like that, And so watching it live and being able to form an actual genuine opinion for myself. I remember having to go outside and smoke like a pack of cigarettes because of how much anxiety I had.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, and like I again legit remember like especially the episode when like Hank bites it. I remember being like super depressed and going outside and just being like,
I didn't like Hank though.
Oh,
there's some doozies in that show.
Yeah, well, and there's like the kid dying and like Jane like asphyxiating on her own throw up and like.
But there's also moments of like elation where you were really excited. I remember Gus and
Spring and just him taking him down, right?
Was insane. And I was like, because you somehow root for Jesse and Walter,
even though they're bad guys.
They're bad guys, and Walter definitely does not do things.
Oh yeah,
well the whole time. I mean he murders several people
Yeah.
that shouldn't have died in this throughout the course of this. But yeah, you end up rooting for them anyways. And I think well, as we start talking about El Camino, you definitely root for Jesse Pinkman, who is kind of the who falls so far as a person in this movie.
Right. He gets the shittier end of the stick
Constantly.
over the entire
he gets
series.
Well, but I told John that he's definitely an enabler, though, because you hear, like, even in, we'll get into it on the El Camino thing, where Walt's like, you should go to college.
Yeah.
And then Jesse's like, no, let's keep doing this.
He likes this money, baby.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, man, you're the one who pushed him in that direction.
Yeah, and he's a high schooler. Well, basically a kid
he
in the
needs
beginning.
Jesse's help, for like how am I going to sell this and stuff like that?
Distribution.
And so like Jesse's again the one enabling him. Like that's why what's his name, the guy that gets him that gets Walt away, and the guy that gets
Mike.
No, that's
Ed
like
or
Ermin.
something.
Yeah, Ed or
the vacuum cleaner guy.
yeah. R.I.P. He passed away the same week.
Mike Forster.
The
actor.
Right. And so his character
Robert Forster, excuse me.
Damn, butchering his shit up. Anyway, Robert Forster's character tells him, like, I don't feel bad for you. Like, you're the one who like chose you made your bed, sleep in it type of thing. Because again, it is Jesse enabling Walt, and Walt at first is a family man and stuff like that, but Jesse steering him into that type of life kind of turns him that way.
What really works for me, of course, the drama and high intrigue of being drug dealers, but all of the family stuff with Walt was Toretto was really, really good too. Skylar, Marie, and of course Hank. But it's just
Walt Jr.
And Walt Jr. Of
and
course.
what's his baby's name?
Oh yeah, it's inconsequential.
I forgot about the little baby. Yeah.
The baby's not going to know. But all of that was very tense as well, and everyone, all of these characters are just so. Interesting. I was going to say flawed because they all technically are, but I remember very early on they introduced that I think Marie is a klepto, right? And that was, I was like, what a freaking
make
thing.
it clap.
Yeah, and Skylar at some point became a villain in this.
She's straight
in
like
your
cheating
head.
on Walt.
She's cheating. She's not supporting his drug business now, but she's fixing books now.
And then and then she basically
the books,
kind
baby.
of she joins in on the operation.
She straight makes some dude get paralyzed or whatever.
It's kind of you're right. Yeah, it's the most insane thing, but it really is all of these different things that are happening in Walter White's life, and it's just really crazy. All right, well, let's talk about the movie. The ending of the series is, I think, satisfying enough. Where Walter
definitely.
White,
I wish they would have switched villains with Jack and Gus would have been the last one.
I see what you're saying, because Gus's story arc is fantastic.
Well,
Like,
and
it
then
just
Jack
truly
feels
is.
just like he's thrown in there, like just like he's what we had,
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think Jack. There's
I've
always
heard
been
this
a
argument
significance.
before.
Well, I mean, because like my thing is like again, I don't. Obviously Gus is the more interesting
correct
villain. Like
Yeah.
like visually, and it's fleshed out more. But Jack to me represents like because every other, it's like Walt kind of knew how to. The previous antagonists, he kind of knew how to work them.
that's true.
Jack is just as unpredictable as Walt, like from a symbolic point of view. Like you can't. He's like, you don't know what he's going to do next. He can turn on you, and he can't. And I don't think Walt had a grasp on that, like kind of until shit hit the fan. Like during what fucking episode was that called? Ozymandias or something. The one where Hank bites the dust, basically. And I remember thinking that is just an interesting point of view because that's not my own idea. I actually read that on a review. Like I think back when the episode came out.
But there's quite a few really good villains.
But the Jack villain is like the ultimate one because it's like it's super cold, like super detached from everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he's not in it for the thrill of it and this and that too. He's purely in it for business and money and and will not bat an eyelash if something doesn't if something isn't fruitful for him.
And truly, if the series is about the relationship between Walter and Pinkman,
you get the Bizarro one with Jack and with Todd.
And they very much know the villains we get at the end that they would succeed if they split Walt and Pinkman up. Like it's all about putting a wedge in that relationship and driving it in there, baby. So Walt dies. Spoiler alert. There's a giant gun in the back of car.
Yeah, like a robot gun.
A robot gun.
That's something that I take issue with. I was like, how do you
Uses
put this together really
science again.
quickly?
Science, baby.
I'm surprised
Is
he
he a
just didn't make
chemist?
it a bomb.
Well, he
Like-
basically fakes it at the very last part. Like even the part where he threatens his friend with just the laser pointers to take care of Skylar. Like he doesn't have anything at the end of this, so he fakes the whole thing. And I think the gun is part of that, being like, I don't have an army, but.
And make it look like I have an
Yeah,
army.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
like someone,
put a
like,
shit ton of
yeah,
guns
from
out
the
here.
outside, it looks like there's an army shooting inside. Yeah.
And we basically end with Jesse Pinkman riding away from because he gets captured and is
For
basically
6 months, yeah.
treated like a pet, like
Well,
an animal to make
And
meth.
also, Jack and his crew are white supremacists.
Oh yeah, let's throw that shit in
Yeah,
there too. Yeah,
so like it's
They're
very
awful.
yeah, super awful.
What are they called?
We're-
Like the Brotherhood or something? Like it's
The area.
insane.
it's weird because there's some weird things going on here with their white supremacy. It's
Yeah.
bad, but yeah. But do you remember the cartel? That was a really good
Oh, the
season two.
the
The
Salamanca.
twins, the Salamanca. That was a pretty good,
Yeah.
and it's had to do with Gus
Yeah,
thrown in there as well.
yeah,
but
Right.
It's like a little triple threat
Well,
there
that's why.
between Gus.
That's the only reason I didn't like Jack, because you built him up too quick. Like you didn't have the backstory. You just kind of just threw him in there, and like he's the big bad. So
Yeah.
that was my issue with him. With when Gus, you got character development and stuff like that, and you're-
Gus people still like a lot.
Well, and also he's in fucking Better Call Saul. He's
Oh,
still
yeah.
going.
So he still gets more character development.
Yeah, so, and again, Jack just
Or
like,
Vita.
not even like you got Danny Trejo to show up in this show, and you get some, no name actor.
the tortoise.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Tortuga.
You guys are
Tortuga.
triggering all these memories now that we're talking about it.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
there's a lot of really, really cool moments in the show. That's why, again, I wanted to be on this episode for sure, is because I can talk about the entirety of the show.
Well,
Use it as my excuse.
Let's talk about the movie a little
Nope.
bit. Okay,
just kidding.
let's just
We're
keep
talking
talking
about
about
the
old stuff. Episode 1, baby.
Phantom Menace.
That episode where he's just in that lab with that fly.
Where he's
an
like,
entire
fuck
episode.
your eyebrows, and then he keeps going.
But yeah, let's talk about this movie. When you first heard that there was going to be an El Camino, and I feel like they somewhat surprised us with
Yeah.
this, because they must have been filming this for a while, but we only heard about it like a couple months ago, 3 months ago, I think, when Pinkman, not
Aaron
Pinkman,
Paul.
Aaron Paul, and it ended up not even being about this when they were launching their tequila line.
Yeah, I
Everyone
know.
started speculating, is there more Breaking Bad?
And it's like, nope.
It's tequila, but also, yeah, there is more Breaking Bad.
Right, yeah.
What do you guys think about the idea of more of this show that we all love?
I thought it was a very it was very sudden. It wasn't unwanted because I even having watched the movie, and it's I like the fact that it exists. It's pretty great. That being said, it was a little bit of a weird thing because we were getting more Jesse Pinkman, and
He was never the meat and potato of the show.
I thought that, and then I also thought I thought everything from that. I guess I don't know if I'm in the minority or majority because I'm not sure what people think about that final episode, but I thought it ended pretty well. I thought Jesse driving out and hitting the gates,
like
and,
the world's your oyster. Like, you
yeah,
can do
he's
whatever you want, you're free.
laughing, he's
It's symbolic
laughing
in a way.
maniacally, and he's finally free. Those are tears of joy that are.
Well,
running
he's
down
not
his
just free
face.
from the white supremacists. He's free of
Walter.
Walter, yeah, for the first time.
just everything.
He
It's
finally
that's
stood
it.
up to him in the last moment of the last time they see each other.
and didn't shoot him. That pussy. I'm just saying.
Well, that's also something that we should talk about is TV finales are very, very difficult because there's just no way to get it right. Because
Right,
it's you've dove in, you've built this world, and you've added things to it constantly.
And you've built 5 years of expectation or whatever,
Yeah.
and people are like, "Oh, it can't get better than that."
It's
Episode.
impossible.
Yeah.
It really is an impossible task. And for them to even just have an okay ending,
Yeah.
if not a good ending, is
it's a win.
It's a win. It
Right,
really
yeah.
is because I think of really. I mean, I can't go down.
People
But
hated The Sopranos. People
Dexter,
hated not
even
Walking Dead. I'm sorry,
Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
I Met Your
Walking Dead,
Mother.
Walking Dead soon.
yeah, How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, exactly. All these really, really good. Even Seinfeld. Seinfeld,
Yeah.
one of the most critically acclaimed shows of
It
all
was
time.
just a trial.
And, yeah, people were like, "Nope." People hated it.
But yeah, so I think that in this landscape, especially now, they did a good job.
Yeah.
with
Yeah, I
this
thought it was
Yeah.
awesome. So El Camino, whenever it was announced, even though I think because people don't follow Breaking Bad news, that they don't follow it that well anymore. I think there might have been rumblings about a year ago that Vince Gilligan was kind of gearing up for another project. I don't think very many people paid attention to it because I didn't think they knew what it was until it was announced a couple of months ago, which was pretty cool. I dig the movie. It's
and
pretty great.
It's not like you're completely out of this universe. You got Better Call Saul that is still going on
Yeah,
while this
it's
is
a great
happening.
show, too.
There's still another season that's supposed to happen, and I'm sure they took a hiatus because they wanted to give this movie its due, and it's run in theaters and it's run on Netflix and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just we're just really privileged to kick around, to be able to walk around in this universe again.
Yeah.
And to hang out with some of these characters.
Yeah,
like
you bring up Better Call Saul. That film, that I haven't seen all of it. I've seen quite a few,
very different,
many episodes, but it is still set in the world of Breaking Bad, and he's working on this show, so he hasn't left.
And again, it's got Gus, it's got the Salamanca twins, it's got Mike Ehrmantraut, it's got all these characters except for Dwight and
maybe White, maybe
Walter
White.
Yeah, maybe that's the finale, you know. And so everything, you know, it doesn't have Walter and it doesn't have Jesse, but that's mainly it. It's got even new interesting characters that it makes you want to dive into. And just props to Vince Gilligan. Again, super underrated. I think I don't know why he's not on a feature or something.
I bet you he could. I bet you he can do whatever he wants now.
Yeah.
But
why isn't he writing the next Sicario movie or something like that? You know, I don't know. Well, there are certain things that are up his alley that would be perfect for.
So El Camino is definitely a movie. It's a 2-hour long movie that has has acts in it. But so it is very different from, in some way, the TV series.
It's not self-contained though. I don't think that. Like, I think you definitely have to watch the show.
Well, Breaking Bad has always been fairly cinematic as 100%, like even I think AMC re-released them as black and white
some of them,
episodes at some point. But they've always had a really good eye. He's gotten some. He's
Ryan
created
Johnson,
a good.
Boom! It was on an episode.
He when you work on a TV show, you make this basically a Bible for the whole series, and they stuck to it visually from the beginning when they were shooting on film to the most recent. We just saw the recap, and we were like, "Man, this is insane! How much technology has advanced." Because El Camino is maybe one of the best shot. Breaking Bad
it's the best
episodes,
thing.
Or I don't even know what to say.
It's like the best looking thing Vince Gilligan's ever done.
Yeah,
and it's I don't know. It's you're definitely right. You hit the nail on the head on that one.
And so it's not such a big leap to say we're going to make a movie on Breaking Bad because these episodes are very close to movies already. But they made the decision to follow Pinkman directly after the finale of Breaking Bad, but also tell it in this kind of. It's not non-linear, but there are definite flashbacks, and that's what you're saying. It's not incredibly self-contained. It could be in some ways, because I specifically, I was telling John this, I thought about watching some episodes before seeing the movie, including the recap, and I decided not to, because I was like, maybe let me see what it's like as just a movie without context to anything else.
The first time I saw it alone, and I was like super taken back and just like the way he's able to build tension out of nothing is amazing. You know, they have a convoy coming in and he parks right next to like a cruiser right in front of him, and you're like, holy fuck, like he's going to get seen. Or like the watering of the flowers, and you're like, oh my God, like there's a flower pot right next to him, you know?
Yeah.
And so
there's a straight up Western style shootout.
We're very Vince Gilligan-esque.
Pretty cool.
But and the second time I ended up showing John and Andrea, my siblings, and so one of them is the host of the show. Anyway,
and it's not the one you think.
Yeah, it's Andrea. Welcome back, Andrea. Hello. Anyway, so I'm showing them this, and watching it the second time, I definitely think that it feels more like 2 episodes rather than a movie. But at the same time, again, I just really was able to kind of pick out the stuff that I did like and didn't like so much. But I totally forgot where this point was going.
Well, some of it does work as on the cinematic level, but you fully appreciate it knowing the full context of all of Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, and Robert Forster's character.
Yeah.
Andrea was like, who's that? And I was like, I had to re-explain. So they didn't even put him in the recap.
I will say,
I was like, damn, like
I didn't realize.
I know that as soon as he came out, people had to like Google what he did, or especially if you hadn't seen the series in 6 years. Like
I had that issue too. I didn't know who he was until Pinkman, but they write a line in there to help, being like, "Hey, you were supposed to tell me last," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
No, but all he says is you're the guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm sorry I didn't meet you there.
It's also crazy he found the guy too, isn't that wild?
Oh yeah.
But I think the only thing to me that I think they would have helped more for someone who has never seen Breaking Bad, and obviously that's not what this movie is for. This movie is for definitely people who've seen it.
It's
lots of. It's not going to be random
fan service.
But I didn't understand to the extent of Pinkman's. He obviously has PTSD. If I had not seen the original run or even the final season, I wouldn't necessarily know why he's captured, or it just feels like he was like an escaped victim of something.
From something,
you know. But because I saw how he was treated, you know, in
The show.
The show. I was like, this is a legitimate thing, a hurdle for him to get over.
Well, but that even expanded on this one, where like to me, I had the opposite effect, where I was like, I don't think he got treated that bad, and then I saw this movie, I was like, man, he got treated
show
bad.
The rough stuff, yeah.
Because like it's one thing where he's like, hey, you're gonna help me with this, and Todd's telling him, and then you're like, oh, cool, like they're gonna fix up the Camino, and then he's like, no, you're gonna help me move this dead body.
It's kind of wild because that is the way that Gilligan writes. It is very much hiding as much from the audience for however long you can to build that sort of tension. And they do that in this movie, and it's easy. It's not easy to do, but you can do it in anything. But for those moments to have a purpose, that's what really works. So, for example, the tension. Obviously they're fixing the car. There's a dead person, but it's to show why Pinkman has to return there to get money. Like you can watch a movie where they have a sequence where it's like, oh, help me hide this dead body. But it only exists because they want you to see how bad this person is.
Right.
But it works on like 2 or 3 levels because now he has to go back, and there's other people looking for the money, and there's also just shows how awful Todd he is as a person.
And it's so crazy because Todd is like the nicest dude until he isn't, and you're like, man, he's just desensitized to it.
Mm-hmm. And he's still a nice dude.
Well, it's just like
weirdly.
him shooting the kid, and he's like, hey, I was covering us, like he saw us, like he was gonna make us, and you're like, oh, okay. Like,
I guess so. Yeah. You're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And so he's the same way in this one, where
oh man, he kills the maid just because she's found it and it wasn't she's like, oh,
she even brought it to him.
She's like, she doesn't even speak that much Spanish or like English.
Yeah. And then,
it's like, whoa.
But again, he's just okay with it. Like, I don't want to talk about it. She was the nicest lady, and you're like, oh man, like he's really nice.
And on
he's
the opposite side, Pinkman's always been incredibly sensitive to
fragile.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, you
right
saw
down to the duel. He's crying during the duel. Like he
feels bad about everything.
Well, but like even
he gives up to the cops.
Look at him like getting his ass whipped all through the show. Like not just mentally by Walt, but like physically too.
Like Tuco and all that.
Yeah, exactly. So just getting his ass whipped, but I really appreciate that this movie kind of makes him into like a badass, almost like Heisenberg. Because I was telling someone earlier, I said he walks into a room with 6 dudes. And it's just like, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, like, there's no other way about it.
I think that's what is really significant is he actually got, I don't want to say better, but he learned from Walter.
And even like him, like the smallest detail, like him waiting until the party was over rather than just charging in or whatever. Him waiting until the party was over is like, oh, they're going to be coked out. They're going to be drunk. And like, I got this.
I'm having an advantage.
Yeah, it's definitely like a plan. So like, that's not Jesse. Like from that first episode, again, he's like getting his ass whipped and like fragile, like crying when he kills Gale.
Season 2 or 3 would have just walked in there. Like when he just like drove in there like guns ablazing.
Yeah.
Well, and then again, like you remember when he killed Gale, like he was like crying his heart out, and here he is like killing 2 dudes.
No,
not even fucking blinking.
Even just his relationship. I'd say his relationship with money, because
he blows him up.
They even show in that diner flashback with Walter just how much he cared. And remember when he buys like a house, he buys all types. He loves money so much, and now he's literally does not give a fuck. Like he's just giving money to whoever he needs. Like it's not about glamour. It's just it's literally just a tool that he has. Which is really, really interesting too. I thought at some point though in this movie that he was gonna somehow make more meth or something. I was like, oh no, it's gonna. But I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, that actually would have. I kind of made it a
refreshing.
Little.
I didn't notice that there was no meth in this. It would have made it
a little bit of a bad movie, like
Yeah.
Because like you don't want to repeat. Well, because it's also like that's also like very again like hats off to Gilligan for like
being able to drive this movie without that. Because that was like the lifeblood of the show.
I feel like he would feel probably that would have been disrespectful because like that belongs to Breaking Bad and not El Camino.
It's also White's like Walt's thing, I guess.
Yeah, so like that's a really cool thing. Aaron Paul is just great in this. Like I don't think I've ever seen him on screen this long. You know what I mean? Like for as the lead. And
it's the character really that he
never seen
embodies the most so far.
Damn,
I mean,
Need for Speed sucked.
I'm sure he's going to be in a ton more movies. He is in movies.
He needs to be, and he deserves to be.
He's in BoJack.
BoJack Horseman?
Yeah, BoJack Horseman.
That's not a movie.
Well, it's good.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, he's working. But yeah, right, he fully embodies Jesse Pinkman.
He has a tequila company.
That's true.
Dos Hombres or
we're drinking
like
it right now.
He leaves it all on the table here, and it's really great. This performance rivals the entire Walter White performance from like the entire series.
Ooh, shots fired,
Damn.
Bryan Cranston.
I think so because like you got a I mean because Jesse was.
I want to see that Walter White movie. What kind of car is that? It's a
El Dead.
Mitsubishi. You know what I'm talking about?
The
his
family
car?
truckster?
Oh no, he buys a nice car later.
El
on.
Oldsmobile. Is that what you're just saying?
No, I'm talking about that. He had that green kind of crossover car for much of the series until he buys that nice car.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It is like a family truckster.
Yeah,
but Walter White's character is like, he's obviously the centerpiece. I feel like of him and Jesse are the centerpiece, but the show is more about Walt than it is about Jesse. And I think in giving Jesse his own movie like this, it kind of rivals, like the performance at least rivals the Walter White performance throughout the show. That's just me though, because like
ooh, shots fired. I don't know.
Well, because
it's awfully quiet in this room.
Really,
I'm just saying. I think it's because it's the benefit of it being a 2-hour long movie. I'm sure if they made one on Walter White, it'd be pretty good too.
Yeah,
like I bet it'd be.
So. There are some episodes where I think like Jesse doesn't even appear, right? Like
Walt got like hours and hours and hours on it, so that's why to me, like I don't know, it's tough to compare him because I was like, damn. Like, Bryan Cranston's a good actor, but, like, you got him for way... Like, I want to see the ratio. Tweet us the ratio of of the times
That's
that, like,
true,
screen time of, like, Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad. I don't know.
I would just... I don't know for sure, but I bet it's, like, 60-40. I bet it's not...
So it's not that far off.
Yeah, I bet it's not too, like, too crazy.
Yeah. I don't know, but it is his best performance, I think, as the character here, and I think he is underrated, and I appreciate Vince Gilligan using good talent, and there's again, like I don't know, it's still weird for me to explain it now because I feel I told John, I said I felt it was kind of like Toy Story 4. I don't know. That's going from like cooking crystal meth to fantasy of toys that come to life. But I feel like it was really, really good. I loved Toy Story 4, but Toy Story 3 had a really cool ending. And like it to me, like it's an epilogue. Like if you want to step back into it, then yeah, that's cool. But if you don't, then like the end of the show was still a good ending. And so to me, it felt a little unnecessary, but at the same time, really, really good.
Right, because it doesn't really add anything other than a happy ending. There you go. Like, I don't know. I was going to stress that out.
Because again, the happy ending that was on the show too. Like
totally,
you did,
I got that as a happy ending. Like I took that as a happy
you
ending.
didn't know what was outside, but again, like, it was the point being it was outside.
Yeah, he's like that's the whole point. He's like he's free. The sky's the limit for that guy.
Yeah, and then like at the end of this one, you're like, okay, cool, he's
free again.
Yeah,
well, yeah, actually free though.
Yeah,
because like because at the end of the show. You're just happy for Jesse because he's out of there.
Yeah.
But like then this story or this movie starts and there's the aftermath that you didn't think about. Like, the cops are still after you.
In front of you.
I just speed read a Hollywood Reporter Vince Gilligan interview.
Yeah, that's why he didn't talk.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry. Thanks for carrying it. I just wanted to really know why he made the movie because we're talking about the ending of the series, and
you're like, why?
Not in a fucked up way.
Why did you make this movie?
Is that the interview where Gilligan himself says that this movie doesn't need to exist?
Yeah, like he's pretty genuine about it. He says it's very much you'll get a much deeper respect and experience if you've seen the full. He's like, we have 64 hours of these characters. Like, there's not much that we haven't said yet.
Also, none of these characters deserved a happier ending than the one that gets it in this movie, and so that's why it genuinely warms your heart at the end because you're like. But and then like who knows, like maybe 10 years down the line he's gonna redo it and be like, boom, the cops are there. It's so like you bump into Saul and
the idea for El Camino was definitely a part of just that last episode too, because he at some point they made the decision to make the last 8 episodes about Walter White, and so Pinkman for the majority of those episodes is just locked up, like they may just make it sadder for him pretty much.
Yeah.
And then he drives away and they had already thought about where he's driving away to, what he does right after, but they decided this should be Walter White's conclusion. So they're like, well, let's not include that part.
Right.
So in reality, this is just exploring his conclusion, Pinkman's conclusion. And then of course too, he talks about how a lot of people thought, well, we didn't see Walter White die and he didn't like that. So he's like, no, he's dead. Let's make this thing.
Yeah,
make sure people know he's dead.
Yeah, because there's a radio report, right?
Yeah,
that confirms it.
They're talking about that girl who he's killing with the ricin.
Well, even with the trailer, people were like, maybe he's out there. And it's so funny how everybody wants him to just not have died.
Well, in a way, he does come back in this thing, which is really cool to see the characters reunite in new material.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a deleted scene or it wasn't things like that. So it was really cool. I that's part of the things that I love about the flashback is that you live in the character's head, so it gives you the access to all these characters that were
Memories and things, yeah.
And so it's really cool. It's kind of trippy at some points because like sometimes it's like match cuts or things like that where you're like, what timeline are we in? Like,
it's like when 11 sees a Coke can and she's like, "Oh,
yeah,
I'm going back to."
There's a specific scene where like he looks out the peephole as like his current self, and then it goes through the peephole and it's the past. So it's like Todd talking to the neighbor, and you're like, "What, is Todd alive?"
And that's kind of the ending that has one of the more poignant flashbacks. That's why it's like about like that's one of the things where like if you watch Breaking Bad, like you appreciate it more with his girlfriend, for him,
Kristen Ritter.
Yeah.
Jane.
Jessica Jones herself.
Yeah, Jane. That's what he said on Jimmy Kimmel. He recapped the entirety of Breaking Bad in 2 minutes, and he was like, "Yeah," and I started dating Jessica Jones, and he keeps going.
And that moment is really poignant, especially if you've seen the series and know just how much he loved her and who killed her. But
she was probably like his ticket out, like that. Like I was just gonna settle down, and like she was gonna lay off that stuff, and I was gonna lay off this stuff, and then
but
suddenly,
not really.
Nope,
Not really,
because she
died during that stuff. Yeah.
She OD'd.
Ooh.
OD'd, baby.
Truth.
But yeah. Let's talk about the well, I don't know. We talked about the flashbacks already.
We can start. I mean, we can talk about the cameos from Breaking Bad. I mean, obviously there's Jane Margolis played by Kristen Ritter.
And also the first ones you get are Badger
Mike.
and
Mike
Mike Ermintrout opening. I love the way it started that way.
Yes,
Mark
Queen.
Ermintrout, which is the opening shot of the movie, and it's a flashback. So it's a really good indicator of how this movie's gonna go.
Yeah.
So it starts with the flashback. What do you think you're gonna get throughout these movies?
I was telling John, like, it's an incredibly slow paced movie. Like, it's a very much a contemplative film, like where it
lies in the tension, like that it's building or whatever.
There's really no action. There's one action part in the movie, but that's not even what Breaking Bad was ever about, too, which works.
Yeah,
there were barely any action sequences.
Mike Ermintrout. Oh my god, that character is such a such a sad ending for such a really cool character.
Mikey.
Well, because like he was the one that was doing it right for his family, like Walt, but like Walt just got too big headed and like just went off the rails and like went crazy, power hungry.
And Walt didn't like being told ever what to do.
Well, and then Mike was like you know where this money's going? Like it's going to this little girl, like my daughter's, my granddaughter or whatever.
And Mike, I think, was a little more sympathetic to Pinkman always. A little more protective. And
well, I think, even at one point, I think he liked Walt. Like, I think he was sympathetic towards Walt, and then he kind of realized what Walt was after a while.
The ticking time
he calls
bomb,
him a time bomb. And he's like, you're going to go off.
Oh, yeah. And
that's what pisses off Walt. And Walt's like, bitch, you don't know me. Boom.
When Walt kills Gus, I think Walt thinks he's invincible, like from then on, in some weird way, because he's obviously always like thrown up after doing something bad. Like he was, he saw some kind of a moral bottom, but after he killed Gus, I think he's like, I'm the king of the fucking world. I can
literally this dude who was the top of the mountain, king of the
got him, baby.
And man,
Mike is really good. But then we do see his best friends and probably the coolest dudes. Like I gotta say, Badger.
That's what you said. You were talking about Mike. You're like, yeah, he really felt for Jesse. I was like, everyone likes Jesse.
Yeah.
Like, the tow truck driver was like, I'm gonna do it for free because you're a good kid. And then Badger and Skinny Pete are like, you're my hero.
Explain it. So the tow truck driver found a tracker on the car, or
LoJack,
okay,
exactly.
For a stolen vehicle.
And you see that it builds tension right away with the cops. Him escaping and the cops and just like freaking out. And then there's this scene where it's like the LoJack. Oh my God, they're on their way, and then
they're here now.
But Pete and Badger
played perfectly by Charles Baker and Matt Jones.
And they're so good. I mean, I as characters, I think that they've always been with Pinkman. Forever.
Ride or die, as they say.
I love how because they obviously had all their money still. Like what they did with it, it looks like USS Enterprise, and then every season of Star Trek, I think, on their shelf.
A ton of video games.
They have nice couches and
they
stuff.
Got they have obviously their own cars. And
I think the trailer also somehow reveals, and this because it's not in the movie, that
Skinny Pete was captured and they were kind of interrogating him for
a while. But hopefully he got out because those guys are good guys, baby.
Right. And
real homies.
Those characters themselves have come a long way. I think they were also like Jesse. They're just kind of junky people, and they were. I think we've seen a couple of episodes in the original series where they're all kind of just high and kind of just flopped out like that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any drugs in this movie at all.
And then this new one shows him
I think they're smoking weed, and he's like, "You want to hit off this? Like it'll take the edge off." And then he's like, nah.
Even he says no.
Yeah, he's like, "Nah."
Just say no, Nancy Reagan. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. So we see them.
And then they also give a really heartfelt like goodbye to Jesse. Really,
You're
which
my
is
hero.
Really cool. Yeah.
I thought we were going to see them again, to be honest with you, later on, but no, that was it. And it's kind of the biggest thing, and I think that's why this works as a film as well. Shit, I just burped and swallowed it. But Jesse knows his plan is to leave and never come back and start a new life, which has always been his plan. But this is him slowly saying goodbye to the characters who are still there, and also the ones that were in the past.
Exactly.
And literally,
Mike,
his parents, whoever got that note. I'm just kidding. At the end, or whatever the note says, we see who gets it.
Dipshit brother that was at a band trip, I think, or some shit like that, right? Wasn't he?
Oh yeah. So his like the way his parents kind of like don't really like him, and like
that sucks. There's like
he gets one last interaction with them, and it's
God. Remember when he buys the
not
house?
his way.
Buys his grandma's house. Remember that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
from his parents, and that was a big fuck you to them. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that to my grandma.
Yeah, so you get those characters in, and they have like this isn't on the positive front. It's not as positive as Badger and Skinny Pete's. Yeah. We get Old Joe, which is the owner of the local junkyard who helped Jesse and Walter during that fiasco.
Yeah, he's always a source for deadpan comedy, I think, because he's just
yeah,
he's
the actor's great
whatever.
from Billy Madison.
And Larry Hankin.
He's in Friends. He's the neighbor in Friends.
Yeah,
he acts the same.
He's also he's the other Kramer, right? In Seinfeld, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
he is. Yeah, Larry Hankin.
Is.
Yeah,
props.
Pretty cool. We get a cameo by obviously the late Robert Forster.
R.I.P. Jackie Brown,
who plays Ed, the disappearer.
I love.
Damn, that's scary as fuck.
I love when Pinkman
nickname.
thought that he had one-upped him.
Oh,
He's like, you didn't call.
And to be honest, there's not a lot of jokes. A lot of it comes from Badger and Pete at the beginning, where he's like, "I got Tommy Hilfiger," and like
that's so
you
funny.
Use both of them. I got him for Christmas, and that's like one of the few laughs. And then the biggest laugh comes at Robert Forster's thing, where he's like, "You can't hang up on a 911 call. They'll say to stay on the line." And
I think it's so
call
funny.
You back,
and they introduce him talking to like this old lady who's trying to get her vacuum fixed and it's all and honestly I didn't even recall him that much until he whips the money out. I'm like, okay.
And it's cool because this is like the most Jesse that he is. Like he's really like mopey and sad and like kind of cool and badass at the end. And then in this one, he's like, "Hey, you're the guy, yo."
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, there's
and not too bright. Like it's just because he's kind of like missing something that he's not like seeing. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And I think he is the last person to see Jesse Pinkman because he ends up taking him to Alaska.
Right at the very end of the movie.
Wasn't that where Walt was, or where was Walt?
Walt was somewhere
northeast, Maine or something.
Okay,
like that. Yeah, it's really cool, and it's really fun to think about a dude who can get you to disappear, gives you a fake social.
And he's just kind of like Walt,
that's in itself another show. I mean, we probably won't ever get it.
Another show, baby.
R.I.P. He died the week of. It sucked.
The release day, actually.
That's crazy.
It was so sad.
It was awful.
His literal last role, huh?
Yeah.
You went out with a bang. You went out with a bang.
But this is definitely Jesse Pinkman's movie because we don't see any of the other. We don't see Skylar. We don't see any of Walter White's people.
We do get like an antagonist in the form of Neil, who's like a welder. A welder that helped build Jesse Pinkman's cage. Which I thought for a second I was confused. I was kind of confused because whenever I saw his character on screen, I was just assuming I was not remembering a character from the show.
Me neither, because I was like,
he's original for this.
He's original for this movie. Like he technically exists in the continuity, but it was like
we don't ever see.
It was
never
between frames.
That was another thing too, because I was like, what a twist. But like they're not police. But then I was like, I thought I would recognize him if he was such a big deal to Jesse Pinkman.
You get an antagonist in that, and you get a returning Jesse Plemons as Todd, who was
you see a lot in flashbacks.
Yeah, you see a lot of him, and he's a kind of a central character. He's got like at least like 30 minutes of screen time here.
Quit fat shaming him. Damn,
not fat shaming him.
No, not you guys.
We're not.
I'm talking about the people out there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, fucked up. Shit's fucked up. People are factoring that into their reviews.
Oh,
they're
my
like,
God.
Aaron Paul looks older and Jesse Plemons is big. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, what do you think happens in life?
I mean, like at the very end of the day, this is a movie that was filmed after the show. So like you can
people
totally
think that
tell.
it was filmed right after the show or what, you know?
Because I guess
they should have used some Scorsese de-aging and de-fatting.
Obviously the continuity isn't like as important to at least the visual continuity isn't as important to Gilligan as much as the story itself is. So I don't know what people's, what to say about like the aging, I guess, of most of the, because again, Robert Forster, when you're watching him, is significantly older.
Even Bryan Cranston, you're looking at
Bryan Cranston as well.
Bryan
Bryan Cranston's not bald during that scene. He has a bald cap that is very kind of noticeable if you stare at it for a while. But again, I mean, that's the way movie making works. Yeah, that's the way movie making works. If you make a sequel 10 years later,
you're not going to recast somebody else. You're not going to CGI his weight out.
Yeah,
or
unless
whatever.
you got a fucking Scorsese or Marvel budget, you ain't de-aging shit. Like, just that's what happens when you.
Yeah. You're not de-aging shit.
When you
not
make
even with makeup.
Well, we had a conversation about de-aging, remember, and saying that I honestly don't think you need it ever, because we've had plenty of examples, even in the early 2000s, of just recasting someone who looks younger.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about Godfather too, one of the best movies ever. Robert De Niro wouldn't have the career he has if he didn't play
a younger Marlon
Brando. And it worked. Like
to me, it's like super distracting, especially in like something like The Irishman,
or like a Marvel movie,
or Chapter 2.
Yeah.
It Chapter 2 is like something that like I didn't notice until I went back and looked up clips, which means like I guess it worked for me on the first time through. But I didn't notice. I actually didn't notice about the de-aging. The only thing that I did notice as well, I was watching.
Did you not know how smooth those kids looked? I was like, these kids are fucking smooth.
Stop looking at how smooth those kids look.
Well, that was my whole thing. It didn't click until after the movie was over. I was like, wait. Those kids look the exact same age as they did 2 years ago, and that's not true because kids grow fast.
I gotta watch the first one, but I thought they looked smoother than the first one, and I was like, "There's no blemishes on any of their face." And I get makeup, but shit, like damn,
shit. That's where shit comes out.
This is a weird tangent on de-aging, but I'm glad they didn't de-age Jesse Pinkman. I guess
Jesse Plemons, but also Jesse Pinkman also.
But yeah, well let's talk about our final thoughts on El Camino. Again, not the car. But why do you think they named it that?
Because it's Spanish for the road.
It's a double entendre. I think it's
the
both.
road, and then it's his escape.
Because you do see enough of that El Camino that I think the El Camino is what's tying him to
Los Pollos Hermanos. That's in Spanish also.
No, well, I think
Sabido Gigante.
I'm trying to I'm looking for a meaning right here. I think it's because his tie to the El Camino is the tie that's going to get him in trouble. Like his ties to that El Camino, and also he's
the road.
Yeah, he has to get on the road,
the winding road,
to get away from all this
path,
shit.
His journey, to and fro.
Yeah, and he does that. Does it pretty well. Like or it just doesn't do it pretty well, but he wins. And which is again like what Andrew said. Andrew used the term fan service earlier, and it totally is fan service. Like
for sure. Well, but
you get a very exciting ending for Jesse. Even right before that, you get a very exciting shootout, which you never thought you'd see him in.
Very Vince Gilligan-esque, and he plays it smart too. He's like, hey, like a trickery, like, hey, look over here, and like distracting, kind of misdirection. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but you also Jesse doesn't he's gone through this shit enough times to know that he's not leaving it to chance. You know what I mean? Like, you make your own luck. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, it's I thought that sequence was awesome, and I was talking about tension the whole PCast, but
I love his performance during that because again, I did notice he was crying while shooting these people. And so it's
also when it's like short range and he was shooting that guy with the mustache and they kept missing. I was like, fuck, he's like a foot away from you.
A stormtrooper.
Watch out.
He's got stormtrooper aim.
And he blows it up.
Yeah, and then afterwards
he had another
tearing.
Gun in his pocket, baby.
He's very tearing afterwards. Yeah, and he's on fire. Like, you're on fire, dude.
He's literally on fire.
He's on fire.
So that's pretty. I think it's pretty great. Like I think, again, like we said earlier, and for this little, really cool mini trip down, memory lane. Even though it's not really mini at all because it's a 2-hour and 2-minute movie. I thought what Gilligan gave us was kind of perfect. I mean, I know I get very unnecessary and very
which he agrees with,
right?
And it is true.
Yeah, it's like it. I mean, it's true about the Toy Story 4 thing too, because Toy Story 4 is an epilogue, and you don't necessarily need it, but at the very end of that, it is final. Like at the end of that, it is final now. So I do like the fact that that this one, it kind of caps it out. Like I can't see another Jesse Pinkman movie unless he's about to fucking, do some weird, crazy
in Alaska
criminal shit. Yeah,
Pink
in
meth.
Alaska.
What? Polar bear meth. I don't know what's up there.
It's ironic because he was making blue crystals, and then he's just surrounded by more blue crystals.
What are you talking about? Snow?
Snow isn't blue.
I mean,
Snow
it
You're talking about the hue of the movie. After a while, the
Oh my
hue
god,
turns.
Andrew, are you colorblind?
I'm talking about icicles. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the hue. In his defense, the movie's color tone does change at the very end.
Oh, I want to go back to that Bryan Cranston cameo, which is set in an earlier episode, but I just read a thing about how they made it. Because obviously
they weren't allowed to see each other.
They had to be in secret and all kinds of things. Bryan Cranston had a 36-hour break between Broadway shows. They said it was this crazy thing. They rented a private jet. They hid his ticket and hid his face, put him in a plane, flew him to Albuquerque, shot in that diner where things had changed. So they had to put a giant green screen outside the window because, there was nothing there when they first shot it. And now there's like a ton of stores and shit. Slapped on a cap, gave him, but Cranston was like, "Yeah, I'll fucking do it. Like, I want to do it." Slapped him back into the plane and made it back in time for his
a lot of slapping
his
going
last
on.
Broadway show. Slapped around a couple NDAs to everyone on the crew,
Slapping it out,
and that's it. Because it is surprising just how much of this, again, like we said in the beginning, is under wraps. Like we didn't know any of this shit was happening.
So he did not sleep that weekend. Then I'm assuming.
No, he slapped some
on his day off. He literally just went to shoot something else, and then
when
flew
you do
back.
Broadway, you have one day off, and it's Monday, baby. No shows on Monday.
Ooh, so it was a Monday.
Yeah, so we knew he
Hey, he
shot
slept on the jet,
a Monday.
probably, depending
It's
on
a
how fast that
private
jet was,
I hope
yeah.
it's
Oh, he did.
nice.
Cocaine.
Some crystal,
Meth.
blue crystal, baby. But yeah, Andrew, what did you think of El Camino? Which means the road. Is that what you said?
It means a car, but yes, also in Spanish, the road. The road.
The road to perdition.
Yeah. I liked it. I appreciate how honest he is about his intentions with the movie. He does say it's fan service. He does say it's unnecessary, but I think, again, anytime I can rejoin these characters, and I'll keep watching Better Call Saul for as long as it goes or whatever.
It's pretty good.
I'm kind of sad because like now you're gonna start to hit walls with these characters where you can't go on and it's definitively over, you know? And so
Odenkirk is nominated all the time for Emmys, and he's pretty good.
and yeah, man, if you're not watching Better Call Saul, then you don't like good TV.
I do like Better Call Saul. If we can talk a little bit about that, is the fact
You get to see Hector Salamanca before he has to ring the bell.
I know we keep talking about Breaking Bad elements in there because it is in the Breaking Bad universe. The show cannot be different than Breaking Bad.
More
Like I think the
different.
first
Cannot be
two,
more different.
yeah, more different. Like it's
It's in the same world,
The
and
first-
it does look like visually.
There are
It
Breaking
does
Bad.
look like it's hot.
There are Breaking Bad-esque
Yellow.
episodes. I think like the first 3 episodes are very Breaking Bad-esque, like
Yeah.
where like Tuco comes out, and even then like shit keeps happening for these people. But after that, it builds its own path, and whoa, it is its own path. Like it's pretty great.
Yeah, I don't even know where it's going, and you know what's crazy is that it's going towards Breaking Bad.
I like his, that's
You
true.
don't know.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I have no clue like
I
how
like
he
it.
gets.
I like
from-
the family stuff. In
Family.
Better Call Saul. Toretto.
Yeah, the brother dynamic, right, between
Yeah.
Michael McKean and
That's my favorite
Odenkirk,
part.
yeah.
Oh man, fuck that brother.
Yeah,
It's
he's
also
awful.
because like he's gaining, Jimmy McGill is getting this confidence that he does not have in that first.
Spoiler alert: his name's Jimmy McGill.
Yeah, well, and that's interesting too. Yeah.
That's because
cool.
Saul Goodman is like a natural.
Saul
like,
Good, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Saul
like a-
Good.
It's also perfect casting because Odenkirk, even in his like improv and his comedy, like Mr. Show and things like that, he can play that up. That you know how he is like a salesman kind of guy and the stressful guy. Like he's perfect. Like his voice, Matt, everything
Talker.
is
He's
good.
a talker.
Yeah, he's a good talker. A good talker. See. But yeah, Andrew, we went off on a tangent during
sorry,
your.
my bad.
You really interrupted me there.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
just kidding.
Spank me, daddy.
I'm the one who knocks. Yeah, he's I'm gonna knock on that ass, knock those cheeks together,
Jesus Christ.
clap them hard. It's again, I still liked it. It's really cool. If you're a fan of Breaking Bad, you'll like this movie and take it for as it is. I don't think you should look into it and be like, oh, maybe they're gonna release another one next month. Or
You're
but don't
lucky you got
expect-
this one, baby.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I think it is. Is you're lucky you got this one, and that's it. Yeah, like like we are lucky that,
That's what
we
you
got
tell.
it.
That's how Andrew dumps girls.
Yeah, you're lucky you had this one, and then just
But
fucking.
that's it. Sorry.
a giant takeaway is like, why isn't Vince Gilligan directing more shit? Like,
I
as in
told
like,
you, I'm like, do
like
the
actual
next
movie
season
stuff.
of True Detective.
Because this,
He hasn't left the Breaking Bad world.
he hasn't. I mean, well, Peter Gould is technically more in charge of Better Call Saul than he is. But like,
Oh, he's in there, baby.
Yeah,
I mean, he's there definitely. But I think he even had to ask Peter Gould's permission to do some of this stuff in here so that he doesn't, change up,
ruin,
break Better
Break
Call
Bad.
Saul. No, Better Call Saul.
oh shit.
Yeah, my bad. I think I said Breaking Bad. I mean,
You remember that
People
Talking
Gold is a
Bad
little
show?
more.
That was the worst.
Yeah, with Hardwick.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Canceled.
Truth.
Um,
Truth.
Yeah, and like there's like some crazy shots. The reveal of Jesse in this one, where where he's hidden in the apartment, where it's just like it's a rack focus on a gun barrel, and then it just like
The light like peels up towards him.
yeah, and that's so
Yeah,
great.
the time
Like,
lapse
that's
when he's
awesome.
searching the apartment
The
and there's like
time-lapse.
10 different Jessies in there. You're
Yeah,
like,
the overhead.
Damn.
Yeah, the overhead from the
This is like
apartment.
the
thing.
way a
Like,
Sims
it's almost
movie
like a,
would be.
a
I'm just
blueprint.
kidding.
Yeah. Great, like great shots.
Yeah, I mean, we said it. That was one of the first things we said. Is it's his best looking thing that he's done.
Yeah, man, it's obviously like Aaron Paul's best thing. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. What are your final thoughts?
THOTS.
I want to bring this up. They did ask him about whether or not there was going to be more,
And he said maybe.
and he
Maybe
did
not.
say that.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, he basically says he's very sensitive about overstaying his welcome. I'm just going to read verbatim the last thing he says. He says, so no matter what, the next thing I intend to do is something completely different, but you never know. 20 years from now, if I'm still working and everyone still wants it, it'd be interesting to see what Alaska looks like 10 years later.
That
or
would
15
be
years
so
later.
awesome.
See, that's really cool because like
Blue
you
Crystal,
could-
baby.
Because like, what if he became like Walt, and what if he was bored of like the regular life, and then he just started going in like, you know what?
That seems like
he
the
gets
next,
diagnosed
like,
with cancer.
Well,
the
and
next
then
logical plot.
And
that
I
they would
could see him
actually
taking on a
use.
student, and then like him fighting that student or something, or it getting weird, and like they
Yeah.
split up, and it's two gangs.
I mean,
or,
it's,
you know?
it's as simple as, because I was just talking about the Truffaut movie like this called The Piano Player, where this piano player is older and he's been playing the piano.
pianist.
The penis.
The what?
And balls. No, it's the piano player. Whatever that's translated into French, but he's a piano player and he had a past life, but he's moved on. He's started anew, and then he's sitting there playing the piano, and then a gangster from the past life comes and sits down, and the movie goes crazy from there.
Yeah.
But that's something similar. He could have started. He could have a family and kids. You just need one fucking person, baby, to show up and
Well, could you
fuck shit
imagine,
up.
or like, could you imagine
If it's like Skylar or something or something.
no, like-
just
Oh, fuck
crazy.
No,
Imagine,
yeah,
like,
yeah, that would be
Skylar,
crazy.
no.
Well, but also, like, could you imagine if they killed like
Walt White
like,
Jr.?
No, Skinny Pete in front of Badger, so Badger squealed on him or something, or you know,
Yeah.
but it's not like they would know where he was going or anything like that. But
Something wild,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. And you got to think who's out there that really wants to get Pinkman.
Well, and to
other
me-
than the government, I'm sure.
Yeah.
to me, Breaking Bad has always been that wrong place, wrong time type thing, where it's like it's all a matter. It's like a Coen Brothers thing, where like this one random happenstance like fucks
Triggers
everything up,
everything,
and
yeah.
you know, and so yeah, that's all it takes is for something
I
like
actually
that.
don't think it's random at all. I think it's like literally people's
Force.
actions. No, I think it's no. I think
God.
it's like people's actions in this one. I think there's split decisions that are obviously made in poor judgment. That like obviously like
Yeah, random.
I don't think that's random. I think that's bad luck.
You said split decision.
Split decisions
random.
is that
I think
random?
you're both.
kinda like
I think you're
random.
both right. Okay. I thought this movie is really good, and it's kind of weird. Like I'm always up for more Breaking Bad. Yep. No, but it's
Oh, it was
kind of
like, it sounded like an insult to the.
it's something nobody really asked for or knew was going to happen or really needed, or I still don't know if you really need it, but it's definitely welcome. Like it's kind of like you threw a party and you know Bill Murray shows up. Like you don't expect him to come,
Yeah.
but you know it's going to be great now because Bill Murray's here, and then he leaves to Alaska. But that's basically how I feel about this movie. It's definitely cinematic. You appreciate it double if you've seen the
Right.
the series, but
series.
there's plenty of tension in it where I kind of think like if you didn't, you'd still
You'd probably be confused from the plot, but like you know,
yeah,
you
like
would probably
the
still have a lot of
specifics.
fun.
Yeah, it's still a fun movie. It definitely feels like I think Vince Gilligan loves westerns because so much of this movie is influenced by westerns. I'm not just talking about the showdown, but a lot of things in this movie, even when it comes to the chase and the archetypes of the bad guys,
Right,
and the good guys in the movie.
I think it's classified as a neo-noir
Yeah.
western.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even some of the lines are like that, right? Like
Breaking Bad
Why don't you
was-
tell them how many people we have downstairs?
Yeah.
you know, it's very good. In that respect, and of course, I love Jesse Pinkman. I am. I'm glad that they decided to focus solely on him instead of trying to
Like give an epilogue to everyone. Imagine
yeah,
that.
like Skylar, we never see. We obviously never see Hank because he's dead.
Yeah, no
we don't
Walt-
see Marie.
no
we,
Walt Jr.
We really
nothing
don't
like
even
that.
see Walt in this. Like it's just in a small, tiny thing. And I think that's a smart way because that's the only way that a movie would work. Obviously, if it was like a TV series and they're like, 6 more episodes of Breaking Bad are coming out, which they do with a lot of, like Gilmore Girls does that. Like it may
Yeah, there's
happen.
always a revival. Yeah.
Now
You
that
really
we're
like Gilmore Girls, huh?
I'm watching
No, I'm
it
just
now, And I don't know.
It's actually not a bad show. I've seen it before.
The lines I kind of roll my eyes with, but it's Jamie Palladino, the Marvelous Miss Maisel creator, and that's her style. Like that's her thing. So I get it as a style. But yeah, the show I'm like
Sean Gunn's in.
He is in it.
Yeah.
That's right, baby. I remember when we interviewed him. I didn't know that. So that's
like his most famous thing.
This is why I never want to do interviews ever again. I mean, of course, we'll do it if it happens, but I get so nervous, and I still replay me asking stupid ass questions to these people. Like I gotta look at this up, but I don't know if you guys remember this. I think I asked him like if he's ever been in anything serious, which is an awful question.
Oh, that is an awful question. Jeez.
And then he, of course, brings up Gilmore Girls.
I've been in something serious. Gilmore Girls.
Now I'm triggered again.
Wow.
Now I'm getting PTSD.
I can see.
But this happens a lot. Every time I interview someone, I just freeze up. And when we interviewed Robert Rodriguez,
hey, what's your name?
After I turned off the mic, he was like, "Oh, he wanted to talk more," and I was like, "Oh." Like I just don't know how to interview. I was just like, I'll just ask 2 questions and get out.
You told him you're like, no, my time's up. Like
basically, and we talked for much longer after that. And I was like, fuck me, like shit. I don't know. Anyways, this is a small digression of why we don't do interviews anymore.
I love how you ended the episode on that. Like,
yeah, man. Yeah.
Regrets. I'm like Jesse Pinkman. I guess I've got all
That's
kinds
totally
of
true. Yeah, exactly.
Fucked up.
A split decision on the moment, and
I don't know how people do this.
I
don't know how people interview people and not always beat themselves up because of feeling like you wasted people's time.
I don't think you ever get over that. Like I think any reporter really has that. That being said, I think they may have like
still think about
a little bit better
except
questions.
for Sean Evans on Hot Ones.
That's true. He's just always good. That's why.
Yeah, that's
and
probably
he's also being like, you look stupid as fuck right now.
And also, everybody is always like, you're so good at this. Every single person that's on there, like, man, I appreciate this.
It seems a little condescending sometimes because like they make it seem like they make it seem like whenever they say that you're so good at this. I don't know. I don't want to say it. I was like, I don't know if Sean Evans will eventually like listen to this podcast.
Well, no, let's do this. Whenever we do interviews to famous people or just anyone, artists, we should put some heroin in their system. Maybe they'll be a little looser, just like the hot
except
ones.
for the ones who probably have had X problems.
Oh,
you know,
great,
you don't
John.
do that
Way to bring this down to
okay.
Yeah, we don't want to kill. Oh, great. Now list them. list the actors we shouldn't have, John. Say it.
No. That's it.
But yeah, I think a really good addition to the Breaking Bad world. It was good.
Well, and that's something I've always appreciated about Vince Gilligan is that, like, you know, that AMC would have hosted 5 more seasons of this show, and instead he's like, no, like I have a vision and it has an ending, and you know I'm not going to overstay my welcome and stuff like that. So, I mean, props out to Vince Gilligan for sure.
I'm going to try to look this up and see if I can find it. Oh shit, never mind.
All the actors that like heroin.
No, I wanted to see how much El Camino costs because I know Netflix it has the tendency. I mean, they're spending like hundreds of millions of dollars on The Irishman. Like
to keep up.
Shonda
with Disney
Rhimes,
Plus.
they're giving her like everyone. They're giving so much money to everyone. I'm sure Vince Gilligan as a showrunner is up there. I think on that list of like win some Emmys type style. This movie costs less than $6 million, which is that's like how much. Reese Witherspoon got paid $20 million to be in this Apple News or Apple streaming thing. This movie didn't cost much at all. This is kind of crazy. I thought it was going to be a lot because Netflix overspends on everything.
Yeah, they do.
But this
maybe
is
on the marketing. That's probably it.
Yeah, maybe the people got paid and that's like the production budget. But it says less than $6 million. That's blows my mind actually.
Is that true? Let me see.
Yeah, look it up, John.
Well, I don't know. I'm just
John, use your iPhone.
We both have the same phone. Nah.
Oh yeah, you're right. $6 million.
Yeah.
Boom.
Hold on, let me look it up just to be sure.
You do it too.
All right.
That is really crazy though. 'Cause this does not look like a six. I mean,
it looks really good.
It looks really good for $6 million. Like that's kudos. Shit. They're gonna keep giving him projects, and if you can make something on a turnaround like
and
this,
I really want Vince
yeah.
Gilligan to do more stuff, but I mean it's up to him.
Yeah, it's true. They're like they should just have him redo El Mariachi.
I would be okay with
Star
him.
Wars.
I would be cool with him redoing like X-Files, which is where he started in that writer's room. Like it'd be cool. Like he definitely has a talent.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think he would ever do that. I mean, Chris Carter still has his hands on him.
Yeah. It gets that David Duchovny back, baby.
Well,
Are they real, man?
They lost Gillian Anderson,
bro.
right? Didn't they just lose Gillian Anderson? Like they don't.
What?
Well, she's the one who
She's
says that she
dead
doesn't
in
want.
the show.
No, she doesn't want to come back for any more seasons.
Well, it's only been movies, right? Like I don't think. Oh no, it came back on.
No, they
Fox.
came back
Yeah,
for two
Mine
revival
and
seasons.
Gianni was in there.
Two
wow.
revival
Oh,
seasons
yeah.
that apparently weren't as critically acclaimed as everyone thought.
You know, I watched 2 episodes of the new season,
stopped?
and I really did because I was like,
I like them.
Well, it's because like I think it's
There was a Wereman episode where it was a werewolf or like a
the
were alien.
X-Files was really funny because people started giving these like X-Files episodes like negative reviews, and then I watched like a few of them, and I'm just thinking like, this is the show. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
what people.
Maybe it didn't age as well for you.
Yeah, that's what
or
I'm saying. Like,
something,
maybe
but
it's a
I still liked
nostalgic
it.
trip
I-
where like people would probably
yeah.
remember it in a different light, and then when they start watching the episodes, they're like,
I
that
just
wasn't
think
it.
so. I will say this about the old because I think I've seen all of them
Like
like
Scary
on
Doctor Who.
VHS
I'm just
tape,
kidding.
but they felt a little more serial in
Yeah.
the old ones. Like basically, it is Monster of the Week type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
this
That's what
newer
they-
one,
yeah.
I feel like they were really trying to do. They were trying to match like highbrow sci-fi that's out now. Like it's very
right. Because I
Like
don't
a
think
Fargo,
it was.
like Fargo's not sci-fi, but like Twin Peaks, like things
Right, yeah,
that
yeah,
are
they're
like.
trying to do that stuff like that. Because
Uh-huh.
even back in the day, I
I
don't
was like,
think
hey,
it was.
hey, bro, just
it
throw
wasn't-
up a monster every week. Fuck.
I don't know. Maybe it's
You don't
just
have-
because
you
of
don't have to connect them all.
the way it ages or anything. But like, I don't think it was too highbrow back then.
No,
like, it was kind of like
it was very
it was
somewhat simple.
it's a conspiracy theory, like theorist show, like
Yeah.
where it's just like it's all about like it's like it's like
They're
well,
the crime of the week.
yeah, like
and-
that
and-
crime was caused by
Yeah.
someone with the black goo,
And you could
like,
tell it was a different writer, and I'm sure it was like every episode because you're like, oh, this writer loves like having kids and like a family to care about the victim, and this one doesn't give a fuck. Like
Right.
he'll just make a. I remember seeing one where it was not a haunted, but it was a building. It was a building
the
controlled.
villain?
Well, yeah, it was a building controlled by computers.
Oh,
Do you remember
yeah,
that one?
I know what you're
and I was
talking
like, damn,
about.
there's
Yeah.
no villain in this. It's a building that's like turning off the elevator
Yeah,
by
it's like,
itself.
how?
You're like, whoa.
Yeah, there were like lots
2001.
of crazy. I mean, even the one we just said, like Vince Gilligan, I think helmed an episode or wrote or helmed an episode where
Sure, it is like
it's a crossover with Cops.
I remember that's the one that freaked me out because I knew the X Files was obviously fake,
Yeah.
and then they had the Cops episode. I was like, Cops is real.
Is
and
this
so
real?
when they showed it and the girl's head
Yeah.
was like twisted around, I was like, this is fucked up. Like that
Yeah.
girl got her head twisted.
Maybe it's because back then we didn't really have that much conspiracy on the internet, and now, like we
have the X Files.
there's all kinds of
for that.
shit. Yeah,
like,
there's an X Files on how steel doesn't burn at
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm talking about? 9/11.
Yeah.
Inside
Oh,
job.
shit. Oh, shit.
But yeah, what do you guys have to plug?
Listen to Countdown to Skywalker on the Delta Pod
When do you want me to
Network.
release this? Right away, right?
Yeah, this one should go out right away.
Shit, okay.
Definitely.
2021 or what?
Listen to
when the new El Camino 2.
listen to our buddies over on the Cover Stories podcast. If you guys like music, and they have some really cool artists playing some really cool covers, it's awesome. Also, stay tuned for more ROTS episodes. They are not going away.
Yeah, we're gonna wait.
Know exactly what
We're gonna do the
next.
Frasier movie when it comes
Hey,
out.
baby, I hear the blues.
Actually, no. I think Zombieland 2 might be on the horizon.
But
I
I
don't
don't
want
know
to promise
what-
anything, but
Oh.
Zombieland Double Tap.
Ooh, you promised
Awesome.
them.
John, you can
full
do that
season of this.
episode by yourself.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
Just
do
like-
it, please. Record it by
It's,
yourself.
it's going to be on my phone, and then I just send it to y'all.
John be like, so
I try to bounce a point off of someone.
the only
It's
thing
not
Andrew
working.
double taps is that ass.
That was a good one.
Isn't it called double tap or something?
Yeah,
Tell me-
yeah,
okay,
it's-
cool. All
yeah.
right.
Hell yeah, to like
I don't know, or am I-
fact check yourself.
Or am I just bringing up something weird for no reason?
I'm just thinking of Andrew double tapping
Double tapping
asses.
asses.
Yeah.
Spank, spank, baby. Cool. Andrew, what do you have to plug? This is coming out next week. Fuck, yeah. So
You looked at your watch. Like,
well,
this
because
is coming
normally
out.
for the Skywalker podcast, we have like 4, 5, 6 week windows where we don't know when it's
so
out.
it's kind of refreshing, kind of knowing that this is going to be out immediately.
Edited hastily,
Without-
slapped
we
in a
don't-
GarageBand.
We don't have to like say like it's Christmas right now, guys.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Ooh, shots fired.
Countdown to Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly. Host of the Countdown to
What,
Skywalker.
what are we
podcast.
going to do for the
those guys.
the Mandalorian? Because that's coming out.
Bro, you're gonna get 7 episodes before you even get the Countdown to Skywalker.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I think
From
so.
The Rise of Skywalker.
When does Rise of Skywalker come out? The 20th?
Of December?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 7 episodes of the Mandalorian.
That's what I'm saying. Are we recording 2 times a week now, or what's the deal? If we're doing Mandalorian, that's a per episode thing.
Was it a per episode thing? I don't know about that.
I'm down.
I think it's a
maybe
per
a
episode.
2
I'm down.
per
What are we gonna
episode
do?
thing.
Just one episode? Did you see the Mandalorian?
What the fuck?
All of
Wait,
it?
2 episodes?
Yeah.
We'll
it's
see.
going to be a 3-hour-long podcast. Did you know that we have to
Ooh, do
go?
you remember episode 1? I think we should have it
Phantom
per
Menace.
episode, just so we don't cram.
Also,
That might
they
take the
c-
place
they
of
can
our
be-
Rebels one, because the Rebels one I don't know how we were going to do. There's like 3 seasons of that.
And it's over, Rebels. Right?
What? Well, yeah, but that's why, like, I mean, because as opposed to like Clone Wars is like way more, like, there's like 8 seasons and counting. Because like,
And there's 2 versions.
Yeah.
There's the
the other
Samurai
one is
Jack
pretty
one.
good. Yeah, we'll probably do the animated Samurai Jack one. Probably that one's easier to do because it's like a 2-hour
We're
movie. We just
plugging
play it
the
up.
shit out of this podcast.
We're doing logistical planning.
on
live,
this.
baby.
Yeah.
Why don't you tweet us at DelphinPod? Tell us what the schedule should be, baby.
Yeah. This one's coming out immediately. So, anyway, listen to all the Delphin Pod podcasts, and then if you like the X-Files, I guess I don't think I have Breaking Bad comics at the comic store. Even though they should, that's something that would be really cool.
But you do sell meth, so
No, well, I was gonna say I do have Breaking Bad action figures. So like
Heisenberg.
if you wanted to make a diorama or like immortalize a scene of them cooking because they're in their jumpsuits, and then I have a Heisenberg.
And I bet you there's a pop. There's pops for sure. Yeah,
No, there is, but they're vaulted and they're expensive. But sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. But
Perfect.
Don't. I guess not. No plug.
Listen to all the Dolphin Pod shows. Of course, Countdown to Skywalker's out there. Countdown to Infinity is out there. A lot of counting down.
Yeah, there's a lot of Countdown. There's a movie called Countdown coming out.
Ooh, Countdown to Countdown.
They owe us.
Countdown to
money.
Countdown.
The other thing I'll say is if you want to support the pod, go to patreon.com/DelphinPod, DelfinPod. There's exclusive shows there. We have a basketball podcast coming out. It's coming out.
It's
If
pretty
you
awesome.
give us more money, we will do ROTS.
More,
I'm just kidding.
that's
More
true.
ROTS.
We might.
You're just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love you. All of you.
There's Countdown to
Even-
Skywalker episodes out there that will not be for public consumption, and then you're ahead of the ball game there. I think the new season of The Sitting Room is already out, and that's not going to come out for a long time.
That's awesome.
We have 2 new movie podcasts, a food podcast.
We
that'll
will
come
do
out
a
soon.
Breaking Bad podcast the entire way through. I'm just kidding. I'm just promising.
64 hours worth of
Yeah,
content,
exactly.
baby.
I do want to do a Twin Peaks podcast.
Yeah.
About the restaurant, the pervert. He really likes
Janice
Hooters.
was working today.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the podcast.
It was Bikini Week at Twin Peaks.
They didn't kick me out this week. Thank you so much for listening, y'all.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks for. I'm interested to see how many people are still subscribed.
To Revenge?
Yeah. So
Oh,
interesting.
this episode's just like the way that movie was for us. This episode's for you.
That's true. 3
viewers
years
like
later,
you.
5 years later, when to come?
For viewers like
Viewers like you.
I guess we should end on some kind of last thing.
Yeah. Later.